lot of talk around silence, but today I'm going to talk about how people use silence as a weapon against you. Thank y'all for tuning in. So, I do endorse silence in certain situations, but let's be real. We're not talking about going silent because you've been disrespected or because you're not in alignment or because you don't have anything more to say. Now, in those situations, it is good to go silent because you save yourself a lot of turmoil. You save yourself a lot of stress. Sometimes, you want to cuss people out, but that's not always warranted. Sometimes it's in your best interest for you to go silent. So I'm not talking about those situations. People are fully aware of what they do, okay? No matter how much people try to give them the benefit of the doubt. Some people, it's just innate in them to give others the benefit of the doubt. I'm not one of those people. I'm a person who truly believes that people know exactly what they're doing. People know exactly how they're moving. And some of the things that they're doing are strategic. And if they're not strategically done, then yes, it may be a mishap. And once you notice it's a mishap, you go back and apologize for it. You bring it up. You make the other person aware and you apologize, or you let them know, hey, I'm aware that this took place, but, that's not what I intended. Because that's what grown folks do. So people who do you wrong, stab you in the back, snake you, and then they go silent as a means to just avoid you because they know they wronged you. They want to avoid confrontation, or they want to make it seem like, okay, if enough time goes by, maybe they'll forget. And that's what happens a lot in this lifetime. A lot of folks are doing people wrong, and then they're trying to let time go by and thinking that time will solve it. As time goes by, they'll forget. They won't remember. It won't hit as hard. And time does heal a lot of wounds. It does. Because as time goes on, the severity of the situation may seem less and less and less. But come on now. That's just toxic. To do someone wrong, know you did wrong, and not approach the situation like an adult or like someone with some coof. And it happens a lot in families. People do things to you, and then they think if they just go silent for a couple of years and then reappear, everything will be all good. But guess what? We're getting hip to that now. We're getting hip. There's more awareness around people who use silence as a weapon and people who avoid the truth, and they use silence as a weapon against people who are either unknowing or people who are innocent in the situation. And I'm glad that this awareness is popping up everywhere. I'm glad that people are talking about it. I'm glad that they're getting exposed. People who use silence as a weapon. They're getting exposed out here. Good. It's about time. Because I'm not one who gives people the benefit of the doubt. And I'm also, as I say it all the time, I'm not one who forgets. I have a very good memory. I can't help that I have a good memory. I can't help that everything is just as vibrant and fresh as if it's just happening when I think of a situation. You may not believe me, but I have no reason to lie to you. I can remember sitting in my high chair. I can remember looking up at the little baby mobile. I can remember how it felt to drink my bottle and rub my eyebrows, because that's what I used to do. I can remember how that feeling felt looking at TV. Like, I have a very vivid memory. And it's useful for my storytelling because I can get really, really detailed. Because I can remember how I felt. I can remember how the environment felt. I can remember the vibe of the place. Yeah, like it was yesterday. So I don't think I need to be punished for having a good memory. If someone does something to me, I can remember the context of it. I can remember the vibe. I remember everything about that moment. So, as I always say, if you're like me and you have a very vivid memory, those things never go away. Now, you push them to the side. You don't hone in and focus on them. And you don't ruminate on, bad things or the bad things that people have done to you. But when they show face or they reappear, those memories come back as if it was yesterday. And no, I won't forget. No, I won't ignore the fact that you did some shady stuff to me, because I can't. It's not that I don't want to, I can't. Sometimes I have said before, I don't even remember why we were not speaking or beefing in high school. Now, things like that, I can remember. But what I'm saying is, it was stupid and it wasn't important. So anywho, silence as a weapon. You get to see people's true colors sometimes by what they don't respond to. People will attempt to invalidate you when they feel threatened by you. They'll withhold acknowledgement to disrupt your celebration or toy with your behavior and get you to react a certain way. I talk about this a lot. Withholding that acknowledgement. They know you've done a good thing. They know that they should be congratulating you, but they don't want to. They want to disrupt that moment for you. They want to upset your apple cart. They want you to react in a different way. They don't want you to be happy in that moment. These are people who don't like you, or people who don't want you to be doing better than them. That's who I'm talking about, you. So the silence is used to invalidate you. If you've never heard this from me before, hear it now. Some people can only tolerate you when you're not exceeding them. So the moment that you exceed either their expectations of you or you're doing better than them, they don't want to see it. They do what I call bird boxing. It's like they cover their eyes. They don't want to see it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear about your good thing. And if people are talking about it in the presence of them, sometimes they may get up and go to the bathroom. They may get up, or they may, I've seen this, they may create another emergency or act like, my head hurt, my stomach hurt, I don't feel good. In that moment, anything to suck the joy out of your good news or your good moment. People are weird. And if you notice that someone is getting down like this around you, believe it. And also, get away from them, because acts of jealousy are abuse. That is an act of jealousy. If someone cannot congratulate you, or if someone cannot celebrate you in your moment. Now, I'm not saying that people have to sweat you all the time and bow down at your feet. We don't want that either. Okay? We want relationships that are equal. You do good, I do good. You have hard times, I have hard times. But we're here to support each other. But people are jealous of you when they withhold praise, when they want to bird box the good things that are happening to you. And it's an act of abuse because it's jealousy. These type of people have a scarcity mindset. That's what it is, because they don't believe there's enough good to go around. They don't believe there's enough blessings to go around. But as my friend always says, God is in the neighborhood. If he's blessing those people around you, then yours is coming. Get around those who are being blessed. And it's not that you're using them because they are being blessed, but you should want the people around you to be blessed. You should celebrate good things that are happening to them. And know, God, if you did it for them, I know you're going to do it for me. So that scarcity mindset, people who have that, they're unhealthy people. I don't want to be around them no how. The devil doesn't have any new tricks. The devil going to use the same old tricks that they've been using, he or whoever have been using since the beginning of time. And one of those tricks are being silent. Being silent. It's meant to confuse you. Okay? So how can it confuse you? Well, two personas can exist within one person. What I mean by that is that people can present one way to a group of people and then be totally different towards you. I've seen it. I know you've seen it. When they're thinking, oh, Sally's so friendly. Oh, she wouldn't do that. But you've seen a whole nother side of Sally. Sally can be nasty. Okay, Sally can be dismissive. Sally can be rude. Sally is weird. But they don't see it because all they see is smiling Sally. Or who knows, maybe they do see it. Sometimes I think people are delusional. Or sometimes, here I go with this mind of mine. Sometimes people are trying to manipulate a situation and sometimes they see it and then they lie to you and say, oh no, Sally is nice, because they want to, pump up the situation, put their battery in your back, and they want you to say, no, she not, so that you can talk smack about Sally, and then they can go back and say what you said. Whole time, they feeling the same way about Sally. So, okay, I know I just went on a rant about that. But two personas can exist within one person. So be careful of that. Just because someone says, oh no, Sally is never dismissive. She's a good listener. She's happy for me whenever, I achieve something. But if you don't see that, you don't see that. Maybe Sally is just not happy for you. In these cases, you don't have evidence, but you don't have peace. Well, I say you do have evidence. You have evidence about how people treat you. It don't matter how they treat everybody else. It matters how they treat you. You're an individual person. You are not them. So you do have all the evidence that you need. If someone is acting salty with you, if someone is being indifferent or dismissive with you, that is how they feel about you. Maybe they like those other people. A lot of times I find maybe they're scared of the other people and they're not scared of you. So you get the real deal. You get who they really are. Okay? The mask can't stay on forever. The mask will fall off. And like I said, the devil has no new tricks. He's going to keep on doing the same thing he been doing since the beginning of time. Oh, this bitch is winning. Let me close my eyes. I don't want to see it. I don't even want to give her no acknowledgement. Why? Because I want her to be confused as to why I'm not excited for her, why I'm not jumping for joy, why I can't tell her congratulations. That kind of bumps it down and humbles you. That's what they thinking. That is humbling you. Okay? But when you are consistently met with silence or indifference, that kind of one-sided effort is exhausting and it is demoralizing. Don't you know when you stay around people like this, it demoralizes you? And when you're being gaslit like this and ignored, it's emotionally corrosive. And if you don't know what that means it is destroying you within. I'm telling you, a game changer for me was to get around people who actually liked me. I've eliminated all of those people, not eliminated, but you know what I mean, gotten away from all of those people who really don't like me. And their actions show. Those people who clap for other people, but they get silent when it's my turn. Those people don't like you. I've learned to get far the hell away from people who don't like me. And it's done wonders for my emotional state and my mental health. Because I can attest to this. Right now, I am never sitting up wondering if anyone who I call friend or family is doing some negative stuff behind my back. I don't have that monkey on my back of thinking like that, because I can honestly say at this point in my life, in this season, in 2025, everyone who I regularly conversate with, everyone who I call friend and who I talk to on a regular basis, they like me. They like me. They enjoy my company. They're not in competition with me. And that's a good feeling. And I just want everybody to experience that at some point in life, because as stupid as it sounds, at one point in my life, I placed myself around people who really didn't like me like that. Why? Because of proximity. And if you looked at my last vlogcast, because I had history with some of these people, and to me, an empath, history means loyalty. But I had to get out of that way of thinking. I don't think like that no more. I don't care how long you've been around me. If you showing me some snake stuff, you got to go. And look, that leads me right into the perfect example of when it is necessary or beneficial to go silent on someone. When you go silent on someone, when you realize that they don't like you, then that's not silence as a weapon. That's silence as a protection, a protective mechanism for you. Okay? Because in those instances, it's not always useful to cuss people out or tell people what they've done. They know exactly what they're doing. And you can't make nobody like you. So what are you going to do? Beg and plead with them. Oh, please like me. Please, please see it another way. Please, please like. No. So in cases like that, that is the best scenario when you practice silence and you just cut ties. You fade away from their life. That's a perfect example of when you need to go silent. But see, these people that's using, they keeping you around, but they're using silence as a way to destroy you, to make you question yourself or make you second guess yourself. That's when it's used as a weapon. That's when it's used as a bad thing. So I'm not going to talk too long today because I don't want this video to be super long. But one tip I have is to get into a flow state. Stop investing. Once you see that the relationship is one-sided and it's only you congratulating people, but they're never congratulating you when it's your turn, get out of that relationship. Stop investing in them. What do I mean by stop investing in them? Stop spending time with them. Time is currency. Stop going to support them because it's one-sided. Again, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. That's a big game changer. Also, don't internalize others' aggressions towards you. Don't internalize that mess. And don't internalize their behaviors towards you. Okay? If a person is being indifferent when it comes to you or getting silent on you when it matters, that is not a reflection of you. That is a reflection of them. Again, like I said, their scarcity mindset. They don't believe that there's enough blessings to go around. They're mad. They don't want you to have it. They think that they are the only people who are worthy of blessings or good things. They're sick in the head if they believe that. Also, you've been taught family first or family over everything. But get out of that mindset, because all that teaches you is that you have to take on the emotional issues and the dysfunction of other folks' behaviors. You know, just because you were born into a group of people does not mean that they are good people. They're going to have these ways too. Just because they are related to you does not mean that they are good people. And you're guilted and you're shamed when you decide to get away from these people once you realize that they're not good people. Just please stop that. Stop it. Stop internalizing that guilt and that shame because you did nothing wrong. You can't take on that heavy burden and internalize when people treat you poorly like that, because people treat you how they feel about themselves. If you think about it, when people are happy and just in a flow state, like I talked about, just going with the flow and, good things are happening, their life is going right, they see that the people around them are getting blessed and they have hope and optimism that it can happen for them too. So even if they are going through bad times, they're just holding on and keeping the faith. When people feel like that, they project that out into the world. Those are the only people that I choose to associate myself with. I'm never going to friend down or relationship down, as I talked about in my last vlogcast. I'm never going to do that, because people with that scarcity mindset are beneath me, and they are beneath you. If you're a person who can celebrate others, get away from those people who can't, because that is a character flaw that's not going away. Yeah, it's in them. And sometimes the people around them encourage it. Why? Because they tolerate it. They deal with it. They put the battery in their back to keep it going because they accept it. You don't have to be accepting of that. You don't have to be accepting of anything that tears you down emotionally. Y'all be safe.